Hello friends, welcome back. I am Trilochan. Let's continue with Python series. In the previous tutorial, we had discussed 6 ways to format a string in Python, right? In this tutorial, we'll discuss Python functions. Before knowing the function in Python, let me tell you, I usually say to everyone who learns programming, we do things for a purpose, right? When we write the program, it is also for some purpose or solving some problems, right? Developing an application or software, it is not 2 to 3 lines of code, right? We write thousands of code to complete a whole application. Imagine we write 10,000 lines of code. Whenever any issue arises, then we need to search all these 10,000 lines of code to find out where the exact issue is. But we have a solution for that. We break the whole code into pieces or group of related statements that perform a specific task, and this is called function in Python. And the same group of code can also reuse in whole application whenever we need by calling that function only. So it's avoid the repetition of code. As you can see here, the function definition. Okay, so this is the syntax of function. Here the keyword def that marks the start of a function header, right? So this is a mark of the function header, right? A function name to uniquely identify the function. Function name follows the same rules of writing identifiers in Python as we have already discussed in data types in Python, right? Here you can see the parameters. The parameters through which we pass the value to a functions. They are optional. And here is colon, and colon to make the end of the function header. And here you can see the docstring, right? The docstring is optional to describe what the function does. This is, you can say, this is your documentation for your future reference. Okay, one or more valid Python statement that make of the function body. Here you can write your statements. The statements must have the same indentation level. Usually we do in 4 spaces or 1 tab, right? An optional return statement to return a value from the functions. So here you can some return, that is another statement also. So you have to return some value. Similarly this. Okay, so this is all about the definition of a function. So how to call a functions? Once we have defined a function, we can call it from another function, program, or even the Python command prompt. Okay, to call a function, we simply type the function name with appropriate parameters. Like here, I can write function name. Okay, as I have written above, simple function name with parameters. Suppose C. So this is how you can call the function. So this is all about the syntax. So let's see how it works in real example. So let's define a function here. Add suppose x comma y, right? So we'll add 2 number here. So colon, here will be your docstring, right? You can write add 2 number, right? So then after the statement would be like that. So here you can 4 space, right? Otherwise you can just enter, it will be indented automatically. So here it is, you can return a statement here x plus y. So this is your function definition. So how to call this? Print 2 number, right? So you have to call add 5 comma 4. Here it is. functions.py, right? Enter. The output is result. That means you have defined a function, then you call a function. Scope and lifetime of a variable. Scope of a variable is the portion of a program where the variable is recognized. Parameters and variables defined inside a function are not visible from outside of the function, hence they have local scope. The lifetime of a variable is period throughout which the variable exists in the memory, and the lifetime of the variable inside a function is as long as function executes. They are destroyed once we return from the function. Hence, a function does not remember the value of a variable from its previous call. As you see, we have defined a function, so let's define another function to show this scope and lifetime of a variable, right? So here is my function. So here I can just my function here. So here I can define a variable, suppose a equals to 5, and here let me print here inside the function, right? So here I can write inside the function a equals to the value that is a. Similarly, the same statement, let me print here a, and here let me change the value of a is 9. Okay, so this is the outside of the function. So here let me call this function. Okay, so here it is a should be 5 and a here a should be 9. So let's save it and execute. Here it is, inside the function a equals to 5 and outside the function a equals to 9. So this is how the scope and lifetime of variables in a function is defined. Let's talk about the arguments in function. So here it is, in the previous example, here I can show you the arguments. So the first argument type, you can say y equals to some value. So suppose we will take here 7. Okay, so this is the default argument in a function. So here you can pass the value, it will override. Let's execute this one. Here it is 5 and 4. So x and y equals to, we have defined a 7, right? It should be a result 5 plus. So if you remove this one, here it is, so you will get the different result here. This is for 12, that means 5 and 7, the x is equals to, if you are not mentioned, means this is the default argument. If you not pass any argument here or parameters here, it will take this value. Otherwise, when you pass this value, then it will take that value. Okay, so this is the default argument in function. So the second type is Python keywords. Okay, Python keywords means here this is a keyword, right? We assigned a value. So this is a keyword. The keywords is type in that different type, like positional, and one you can say that keyword order. Suppose here we can change the order and do the same things. Okay, suppose here x equals to, we can put 2. So if you change the order x plus y, and here if you add any value like 6, 7. So let's see the example here. So how it is work, which will be work. Here it is, here 13. Can you guess how it will be 13? Because we have passed the value. If we not pass any value or parameters here, it will take as the default, it is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. So this is one type of keyword arguments. Okay, so again you can change the value of order of these parameters also. And third one is arbitrary values. Like here you can take x is star. That means you don't know how many variables will come here, so you can just return x. Okay, so if you return plus, you can say x equals to x plus. So this is not like you have to make a here loop, so that it will easily calculate your all the values, right? So similarly you can print here the, let me do it for you. So here for, you can write the for loop, suppose for, let me define is xs, that means multiple values. Okay, so in xs, so here you can x equals to, you can define y equals to x plus y. Okay, so here you can return y. Here 5, 6, 7, 8. So here can y define equals to 0. So here now you can see the result. Let's execute it. Here it is 26. That means we have passed multiple variables, but we don't know the variable, so we can do, this is the arbitrary arguments. Okay, this is all about functions in Python. So I hope you like this video tutorials. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much.